Hey, thanks for tuning into the Cocktails with Jim podcast. I'm here with Tyler Wibstad. Tyler and I actually worked a part-time gig together at AgriFleet in Gaylord. Do you remember what year that was? I want to say like 2016,
Yeah, I would say, yeah, junior year.
somewhere in there. Tyler works for Gaylord Sanitation, which is a garbage company, and they also provide roll-offs, correct? And that's a
Yep.
family-owned business.
Yeah.
So how does this work again? Somebody owns the roll-off side and then somebody else owns the residential garbage pickup or whatever you want to call it.
That got kind of switched right before we started the roll off. Used to be Gaylord roll off, which was owned by my uncle and my aunt, Daryl and Rachel. And then of course waste management just kind of came in and took that over for the big accounts, and then that just got kind of sold out. And then yeah, we just started up roll-off operations, adding on to our commercial and residential service, and it's been going great since. And people love the service, and obviously now with that last hailstorm all over the area here, and it's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. Not that you want to make profits off other people's damage, but still it's like you're providing an essential service for those people too by providing the dumpsters and things. So yeah, I was gonna mention so there if I'm correct, there's three options for garbage in town. So how do you compete with one of the bigger names and another smaller guy? Why should people choose Gaylord Sanitation over the competition? And how do you compete in that market with two other choices?
I mean, yeah, it just kind of depends on what you want, and seen a lot of people come my way, and then seen a lot of people go too. But kind of just, I mean, yeah, we're the almost the most expensive in the area. I think RSS is quite a bit cheaper, and then goes down to us, and then waste management. And obviously, waste management, you're dealing with a bigger name. You know, you get a lot of computers and talking to dealing with all that stuff, and a lot easier just to call up me or my dad and either figure out a better resolution, and easier things to go by with that. And yeah, but otherwise, just competing. And I mean, you can't compete against the cheaper guy. It's just sometimes it's just a fact of money, and but I think service is a huge part of it, and that's what we're grateful for, is those customers that just love that service and are willing to pay a little bit more. And yeah, like I said, you get me or Jess on the phone, my dad, and or my mother, my mom, Lorenda, and just goes great that way. Just goes hand in hand, kind of get what you pay for, kind of deal, and I mean, buy it once.
Absolutely. It is nice, living in a small town and when you're paying for these services, you know exactly where your money's going and you see the people that your money is helping. So that's definitely a nice thing.
Mhm.
Um, what's the what's the process if somebody wants to get into this line of work? I know obviously you need a commercial driver's license, but what sort of training is required and how does somebody become a garbage person if that's something they want to do?
Yeah, I mean, my best advice to anybody that wants to get into this line of work, it's tough going at first a little bit, but I mean, obviously at the school and stuff, the milk and the smell and the stuff like that. But it's just after a while, it just comes numb to you, and it just doing your job and stuff like that. And I would say probably the best advice that somebody really wants to stick with it is just keep your head down and just keep going, stick your nose in it. I mean, it's just garbage, and somebody has to do it.
Yeah, oh, it's definitely an essential service. There's no doubt about that. Um, so for somebody that maybe doesn't know, when you put your garbage can out on the streets and you or somebody else picks it up, what's its journey? Where does it go next? Does it go directly to the landfill, or what happens next once you pick it up and it's gone?
I guess it kind of depends on who picks it up there, and I guess for us with it all just goes straight to a landfill, or otherwise it goes to the Minnesota Waste Processing Plant in Mankato and gets shredded and burned for electricity for Mankato. And that's kind of a neat process if you ever had a chance to look at that. Like I said, that everyone should go to a landfill once for sure. Everyone should go to a landfill once, and it would really put your perspective on waste not whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. I've read some statistics before, and I don't know, how true these things are, or if what kind of bias exists, but you hear about how only 9% of the plastic that we recycle actually gets recycled. And what can people do? I think, generally people want to recycle and they want to, do their part, but what can homeowners do to ensure that those things that you put in that recycling container are actually going to get recycled?
Main thing is keeping it clean, I like ketchup jugs and stuff like that. You gotta rinse that out, and yeah, I don't. That's another cool scene to see is so all the recycling goes to Demcon and Shakopee, and that's a great sorting facility. And then they sort it, bundle it up, and send it out, and then just kind of gets reused. And then but I mean, yeah, you see them come in, and you see all the trucks come in and dump a dirty load of recycling, and just I know it's easier. And even at my house, I would think it would make sense to put everything in a trash bag like recycling, but it just clogs up the shredders, and it's just more of a headache to deal with than the recycling's worth. And recycling isn't worth much versus starting with virgin materials. And so what we can do the best that we can is definitely try to keep that clean, and definitely try to think. I mean, don't just be like, well, this could be recycled. I'm sure, like an old Tupperware or a frying pan, and scrap metal doesn't go in the recycling. Needles don't go in the recycling. Batteries don't go in the recycling. Batteries cause a lot of fires every year at either the sorting facility or in the truck itself, and then that's a crazy sight to see where I mean, you're taught as a driver just to, if you see smoke and you see fire, and you just got to dump it out right on the street there. And because your job is to save that truck, and that load can easily be cleaned up, but that truck's worth a lot of money and a lot of lives at stake for sure there. But main thing, I mean, yeah, try not to be lazy with recycling. Really try to focus. I mean, it's the basics. It's the cardboard, the newspaper, the plastic jugs and water bottles, and but rinse everything out. Because imagine you're at that sorting facility and you got a bunch of either chemical jugs or rotting milk jugs, and it really starts to stink up the place. And styrofoam's not recyclable. Packing peanuts, even you would think all papers are shreddable or is recyclable, but shredded paper is not recyclable because it's too fine and you can't capture it. And so yeah, just if you're gonna recycle, just do the basics. Don't try to recycle everything, and rinse everything out.
Got it. When you talk batteries causing so many issues, is this all batteries? Like, so my double A Duracell that's shot, or are you talking more like lithium ion batteries in electronics and computers, or what specifically, or is it all of them that cause a problem? And then if that's the case, like how does one properly dispose of old batteries?
Correct. Yeah, and that's a tough conversation too. I mean, I wish they had a better system in the county for recycling batteries, and because that I mean that stuff is valuable. I've seen all that stuff go to waste, but I mean, like double A's and triple A's and smaller stuff like that, even DeWalt batteries, and it all just causes a problem. Double A's and triple A's. You're finding your flashlight and even 9 volts. It's usually just gonna go in the garbage. Don't even try to, or don't recycle it. It causes more problems in the sorter, and this way at least just goes right to the landfill. But yeah, I really wish there was a better answer for that. That recycle double A's and triple A's that you could just drop them off somewhere like City Hall or something, but there just isn't. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, what do you do with it? Good question.
There.
Landfill, I guess, but and we had a truck. We had a driver. Just had a fire here. Didn't end up having to dump out the load, but it was a DeWalt lithium ion battery.
Mhm.
And yeah, once that packer hits it, it just starts right on fire. Just it's crazy. It's actually crazy to see that it just once the packer hits it, it completely starts on fire.
Wow, that's crazy. So we talked about how you can properly rinse out your recycling. What are some other things that a homeowner can do just to be a good person for the garbage man? What are some of your pet peeves from homeowners and customers? I know the first time the first time we moved into our house and I put garbage out, I had both the cans right together and I had
Mhm.
a note saying make sure they're 3 feet apart, and it's so obvious. It's like obviously they're gonna pick it up and they're gonna knock the other one over. So I know putting them a good distance apart is huge, but what are some other things that a person can do to just make your life easier?
Yeah, the cans 3 feet apart. Not over full, and then if it is over full, try to make sure that the lid is at least closed because the grabber doesn't like to grab the lid, and then it just wrecks the can usually. Um, that is a good one. Oh, even the smallest touch of gratitude to your garbage man will go such a long ways. I have people that even a card, no money in it, but it just goes a long way with anybody, and I'll let you slide for a long time on anything on that stuff, and a lot of cookies on Christmas, Visa gift cards,
I have
a lot of stuff like that.
my older sister tips the garbage guy. They live in Florida, and
Hmm.
I don't know if it's every time, but she'll catch them and little cash tip. So yeah, just showing that appreciation. Again, this it's an essential service that you're providing, so you have to be grateful and respectful.
Yeah, I don't know, think of your garbage man like your waitress at your restaurant or your waitress at your restaurant. Just treat them like that, and they'll go a long ways for you. Even if you forget to I've had people forget to put it out, and I know they set it out every week, and it's just sitting up by the garage. I'll just run out of the truck and grab it, and it's not a big deal. But then people, and then all of a sudden, it just kind of is what it is.
So we'll keep this PG rated here, but what are some funny things that you've encountered in the garbage on pickups?
Um, Funny things. Okay, that is a good one. Wow, there are a lot of things that come to mind. I'd say, I mean, funny things that come out of the garbage. Luckily, most of it is bagged now for the most part. Um, yeah, it's after a while you kind of just quit looking and you're kind of just doing your job. But geez, funny things. Um, yeah, there's a fair amount that comes to mind. I mean, yeah, for sure. There's the saddest part of it are like the sadder ones that are probably like, I mean, people's dead animals or like stuff like that, and that's always tough to see. And then funny things. Wow, I don't know. You go through so many a day. It's kind of tough to keep track of that nowadays. But and then also you'll find a lot of good things in garbage. And if you wanna dig through that, I know there's a TikToker on TikTok that digs through Sibley County trash and gets I mean she's got a lot of views and finds a lot of decent stuff, and I've seen some of it come out of dumpsters, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd bring it home, I guess.
So is this a person that's going through like like people's trash that's outside on the street? Is that or how are they finding the I didn't even know that was legal.
It's it's such a fine line and you can't even enforce it. It's once it's in your container. So once it's in my container, then it's our property. But also people set mattresses and couches on the curb and then that's just wide open. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
so it's
Awesome.
tough to say.
Anything else that we didn't cover here that you want to share? And we kind of talked about, what it's like getting into the career and, again, this is an essential service that you're providing, so it's certainly appreciated. And anything else you want to share with me?
Hmm. I mean, the main thing, I guess, if you're out somewhere, I mean, don't park in front of no dumpsters. You never know when that truck's coming. It's the main thing I see a lot, and skipping people in front of parked in front of dumpsters, and set your cart on the other side of the curb. Um, hmm. Anything else? I don't think so. I was gonna think on that funny things for a while, huh?
Well, if you think
All
of
I
it,
can
let me
think about
know.
is little treasures you can find in the garbage, but that's about it, I guess. I mean, yeah, you can. I got a Jack Daniel's car hood sitting up there next to my bed that I found out of the garbage, but
Awesome, man. Well, hey, thanks so much for taking the time to do this, and thanks for the work you're doing. It's certainly appreciated, and I know it goes without thanks. A lot of times people take it for granted, and it shouldn't be that way. We're gonna drop a link to Gaylord Sanitation here. They're the best. I recently switched over to them from a bigger company, we'll say, and yeah, the service is outstanding. It's small town, and you know where your money's going. So excellent, man. Appreciate the time here tonight.
and you can order roll-offs online.
Very good. We'll put a link to your website here so people can check that out.
Sure, thanks, man.
Be cool, man. Talk to you soon.
Yes, yeah.